Eden Prime was quiet that morning. The sun rose over the eastern mountains, casting golden light across the wheat fields. Commander Olivia Mason stood on the observation deck of the colony's main building. She watched as farmers began their day's work. 3 years of hard work had turned this once barren planet into a thriving home for 5,000 people. "Commander, you need to see this." Jack Collins rushed into the room. His face was pale. Jack worked in communications and rarely looked worried. "What is it?" Olivia asked. "Strange readings from the outer system. Something big just appeared near the gas giant." Olivia followed Jack to the control center. The room buzzed with activity as technicians studied their screens. Samantha Rivers, their agricultural scientist, was already there. The crop monitoring satellites picked up unusual energy signatures, Samantha explained. "Whatever is out there, it's affecting our orbital equipment." The main screen showed blurry objects moving toward Eden Prime. The colony had no military ships, only a small defense system designed to destroy meteors. "Try to contact them," Olivia ordered. "Standard greeting protocol." Jack sent the message on all frequencies. Minutes passed. The objects grew larger on the screen. "No response, Commander. They're jamming our long-range communications." Olivia felt a chill run down her spine. "Sound the emergency alarm. Get everyone to the shelters." The alarm echoed across the colony. People stopped their work and ran toward the underground bunkers. Parents grabbed children. Workers abandoned equipment. The first explosion hit the northern farm sector. The ground shook beneath their feet. More explosions followed. "They're targeting the residential areas first," Samantha said, her voice shaking as she watched the screen. "Why would they do that?" Through the observation window, Olivia saw strange ships descending from the clouds. They were dark purple with sharp edges, nothing like human designs. Beams of energy shot from them, cutting through buildings like paper. "Jack, send an emergency message to Earth. Use the quantum transmitter." The quantum transmitter was their last resort, a one-time use device that could send instant messages across light years. They had saved it for true emergencies. This qualified. Jack typed frantically while Olivia dictated. "This is Commander Olivia Mason of Eden Prime Colony. We are under attack by unknown alien forces. Heavy casualties. No provocation on our part. They targeted civilian areas first. Our defenses are failing. Send help immediately. Coordinates attached." The building shook as something hit it directly. Lights flickered. "Message sent," Jack confirmed. "But regular communications are now down." Samantha pointed to her screen. "They've landed transport ships. They're taking people." Olivia watched in horror as the aliens rounded up colonists. The creatures were tall with 4 arms and scaled skin. They moved with terrible efficiency, separating adults from children. "We need to get to the emergency bunker," Olivia said. "Bring all the data we have on these attackers. Earth will need it when they respond." As they ran through the corridors, more explosions rocked the building. Part of the ceiling collapsed behind them. Jack barely made it through. They reached the hidden entrance to the bunker, where 30 colonists already huddled in fear. Olivia sealed the heavy door behind them. "What do they want?" someone asked. "I don't know," Olivia answered honestly. "But Earth knows we're in trouble now. Help will come." Through the small observation port, they watched their home burn. The aliens moved methodically, destroying homes and capturing people. They showed no interest in communication, no mercy for those who surrendered. "Earth is 15 days away at maximum speed," Jack said quietly. "Can we last that long?" Olivia didn't answer. Instead, she began organizing their supplies and weapons. They would survive. They had to. And when Earth learned what happened here, these aliens would discover they had made a terrible mistake. Humanity would not let this stand. Admiral William Grant stared at the message again. His office at Earth Fleet Command was silent except for the soft hum of computers. The distress call from Eden Prime had arrived just 10 minutes ago, transmitted instantly through the quantum network. "Play it one more time," he ordered. The desperate voice of Commander Mason filled the room again. In the background, explosions and screams could be heard. The message cut off suddenly, leaving only static. Admiral Grant pressed a button on his desk. "Get me Laura Freeman and Christopher Daniels immediately." 5 minutes later, Intelligence Officer Laura Freeman and Fleet Strategist Christopher Daniels entered the office. Laura's dark hair was pulled back in a tight bun. Chris carried a tablet filled with data. "You've seen the message?" Grant asked. They both nodded grimly. "Eden Prime was a peaceful farming colony," Laura said. "No military value, no resources worth stealing, just families trying to build a new life." Chris pulled up a star map on the wall screen. "Eden Prime is here, in the Arcturus system, 15 days away at standard speed. But if we push the new engines beyond their tested limits, we might get there in 12. "What ships do we have available?" Grant asked. "The EFS Retribution just completed its final trials yesterday," Chris replied. "It's our newest and most powerful warship. Captain Ethan Wright is in command. We also have 5 destroyer-class vessels and 3 support ships ready for immediate deployment." Laura added, "The message contained fragments of sensor data. I've analyzed it. These aliens, whoever they are, have technology comparable to ours, but with some significant differences. Their weapons are energy-based, highly destructive." Grant walked to the window. Below, Earth gleamed blue and peaceful. For 100 years, humanity had explored space without encountering intelligent alien life. They had grown complacent, building colonies with minimal defenses. "Get me the president," he said. An hour later, Admiral Grant stood in the Oval Office. President Diane Powell listened carefully as he explained the situation. Her face grew darker with each word. "How many people on Eden Prime?" she asked. 5,000, Madam President. Mostly families." The president turned to her advisors. "Options. We could try diplomacy first," suggested one man. "Send a message before our fleet arrives." "That assumes these aliens are interested in talking," Laura pointed out. "They hit without warning, targeted civilians first. That's not the behavior of a species interested in peaceful contact." President Powell stood up and walked around her desk. "This is the first contact with an alien civilization in human history, and they chose to attack our most vulnerable colony without provocation." She paused. "Admiral Grant, you have authorization to deploy the fleet. Your mission is to save any survivors and ensure these aliens understand that attacking humanity has consequences." "Yes, Madam President." Captain Ethan Wright received his orders less than 2 hours later. He stood on the bridge of the EFS Retribution, a massive warship that had never seen battle. His crew moved with purpose around him, preparing for immediate departure. Commander Patricia Alvarez, his executive officer, approached with a datapad. "All systems are ready, Captain. The fleet is assembled and awaiting your command." Ethan looked at the crew gathered on the bridge. Young faces, well-trained but untested in actual combat. "Open a channel to all ships," he ordered. Patricia nodded. "Channel open." "Sir." "This is Captain Wright. You've all been briefed on our mission. Eden Prime has been attacked without warning or provocation. Our fellow humans are being killed as we speak." He paused. "We don't know what we're facing, but I know this. Humanity stands together. If you attack one of us, you attack all of us. Our response will be swift and decisive. Prepare for immediate departure." The massive engines of 9 warships came to life. Earth grew smaller behind them as they accelerated toward the jump point. In the medical bay, doctors prepared for casualties. In the armory, Marines checked their weapons. In engineering, Benjamin Taylor worked to push the engines beyond their design limits. 12 days to Eden Prime. 12 days to prepare for humanity's first interstellar war. 7 days into their journey, Captain Ethan Wright called his senior officers to the main briefing room of the EFS Retribution. The large table was surrounded by tired faces. No one had slept much since they left Earth. "Engineer Taylor, how are the engines holding up?" Ethan asked. Benjamin Taylor rubbed his eyes. His uniform was stained with coolant fluid. "We're pushing them to 120% of rated capacity. It's risky, but they're holding. We should reach Eden Prime in 5 more days instead of 8. Kevin Martinez, the science officer, spoke next. "I've been analyzing the sensor data from Eden Prime. These aliens, whoever they are, use a unique energy signature we've never seen before. I've modified our scanners to detect it from a greater distance. We should be able to locate their ships before they see us." Nicole Harper, weapons specialist, pulled up diagrams on the main screen. "I've recalibrated our main cannons based on the data. If their shields operate on the frequencies we suspect, our weapons should be more effective." Commander Patricia Alvarez studied the tactical display. "We've been running combat simulations nonstop. The alien ships appear to rely on energy weapons with a 20-second recharge time. That gives us a window to strike between their firing cycles." Ethan nodded. "Good work, all of you." He turned to Gregory Sullivan, the morale officer. "How's the crew holding up?" Gregory looked down at his notes. "They're scared but determined, sir. Many have friends or family in colonies like Eden Prime. They understand what's at stake." The room fell silent as the communications officer, Michelle Rodriguez, entered. Her face was grim. "We just received another transmission from Eden Prime, sir. It's fragmented, sent through a makeshift communications array. One of the survivors must have built it." She activated the screen. The image was grainy, showing a woman hiding in what looked like a ventilation shaft. It was Commander Olivia Mason, though her face was now dirty and streaked with blood. "This is Commander Mason," she whispered. "Day 6 of the invasion. They're hunting the remaining survivors. They're experimenting on captives." The screams. She looked over her shoulder at a noise. "We need help. Please hurry." The transmission cut off. No one spoke for several seconds. Finally, Ethan stood up. "Display the latest simulation of the alien fleet." A holographic image appeared above the table showing purple ships in formation around Eden Prime. "We'll exit jump space here," Ethan pointed. "Lieutenant Cooper's stealth ships will move ahead to gather intelligence while we prepare the main assault." Patricia asked, "What if they have reinforcements?" "Then we'll still attack," Ethan said firmly. "We won't leave our people to die." After the meeting, Ethan walked the corridors of his ship. Crew members nodded respectfully as he passed. In the mess hall, he stopped to listen to a conversation. "My cousin lives on Proxima Colony," one young crewman was saying. "If these aliens hit Eden Prime, what's to stop them from attacking other colonies?" "We are," his friend replied. "That's why we're here." Ethan continued to the observation deck. The vastness of space stretched before him, stars streaming by as they traveled faster than light. Somewhere ahead, an enemy waited, an enemy who had made a critical mistake. Patricia found him there an hour later. "Can't sleep, sir." "No." Ethan turned to her. "In all our history, through all our own wars, humanity never faced an external threat. We've been lucky." "Luck runs out," Patricia said. "But we adapt. It's what humans do best." Ethan nodded. "Send a message to all ships. All crews to battle stations in 4 days. We're going to arrive ready to fight." As Patricia left, Ethan looked back at the stars. The aliens had attacked without warning. They had shown no mercy to civilians. They had targeted the helpless. They were about to learn what humanity did to those who harmed its own. The Earth fleet arrived at the edge of the Arcturus system under complete stealth. Captain Ethan Wright stood on the bridge of the ESS Retribution, watching as the main screen showed the distant glow of Eden Prime's sun. "All ships maintain position," he ordered. "Lieutenant Cooper, deploy your reconnaissance vessels." Ryan Cooper, a thin man with steady hands, nodded. "Yes, sir." "Stealth team launching now." 3 small black ships detached from the fleet and moved silently toward the inner system. Designed to be nearly invisible to sensors, they would gather intelligence without alerting the enemy. The bridge was quiet as they waited. Officers checked and rechecked their systems. No one spoke above a whisper. 2 hours later, Lieutenant Cooper's team sent back their first images. The main screen filled with a view of Eden Prime, where there had once been green fields and blue lakes. There were now brown scars and dark smoke. The alien ships hovered above the surface like purple insects. The largest one, clearly the mothership, was positioned directly above the main colony. "Magnify Sector 3, Ethan ordered. The image zoomed in on what had been the colony's central plaza. Now it was a processing area. Humans were being herded into groups. Some were taken into the alien ships. Others were being examined on tables in the open air. Michelle Rodriguez, working at her communications station, suddenly straightened. "Captain, I'm picking up transmissions between the alien vessels. They're not encrypted." "They don't expect anyone to be listening," Patricia said. "They think they're alone out here." "Can you translate it?" Ethan asked. Michelle adjusted her equipment. "Not yet, but I'm recording everything. The pattern suggests a language with mathematical structures. Given time, I might be able to decode it." Anthony Baker, the tactical officer, pointed to several smaller alien ships patrolling the outer system. "Their patrol pattern is predictable. They check the same coordinates at the same intervals. We could use that against them." In the medical bay, Susan Campbell prepared her team for the casualties they would soon receive. They set up extra beds and checked their supplies of blood and medicine. "We don't know their injuries," she told her staff. "We don't know what these aliens have done to them. Be prepared for anything." Back on the bridge, Lieutenant Cooper's reconnaissance team returned with more data. Everyone gathered around the tactical table to review the findings. "The colony is in ruins," Ryan reported, "but we've identified several underground locations where survivors are hiding. Based on heat signatures, we estimate about 500 humans are still alive, hiding in bunkers and natural caves." He pointed to the alien mothership. "This vessel seems to be their command center. It's also where they're taking most of the human captives. We observed them extracting something from the humans, possibly blood or tissue samples." Anthony studied the alien fleet formation. "Their ships are powerful, but they're positioned poorly. They're not expecting an attack. If we strike here and here, we could cut off their patrol vessels from the main group." Ethan considered the information. "Our priority is rescuing the survivors. Michelle, keep working on those transmissions. I want to know what they're saying to each other. Anthony, develop a battle plan that separates their forces. Patricia, prepare our Marines for ground deployment." He looked at the image of Eden Prime once more. The green world he had seen in promotional videos was gone, replaced by a nightmare. Whatever these aliens wanted, they had taken it by force, without concern for human life. "They chose this," he said quietly. "Remember that in the days ahead. They chose to attack us. They chose to harm civilians. What happens next is on them, not us." In the alien mothership above Eden Prime, the commander of the Vexhera fleet received a report from one of the patrol ships. A sensor glitch, quickly resolved. Nothing to worry about. The commander dismissed it and returned to studying the interesting specimens they had collected from this world. The commander had no idea that death was already in the system, watching and planning. The attack began at 400 Earth Standard Time. Captain Ethan Wright gave the order from the bridge of the EFS Retribution, his voice calm despite the weight of the moment. "All ships, execute Battle Plan Alpha. Fighter squadrons, launch now." Across the fleet, hangar bay doors slid open. Squadrons of fighters streamed out into space. Leading the first wave was Daniel Peterson, a veteran pilot with steady hands and keen eyes. "Wolf Squadron, form up and follow me," Daniel said into his comm. "Remember your training. These aliens haven't faced real opposition yet. Let's show them what humanity can do." 48 human fighters accelerated toward the unsuspecting alien patrol ships. They moved in perfect formation, weapons hot and ready. The first alien ship never knew what hit it. Daniel's squadron struck from behind, their weapons finding the weak points identified during reconnaissance. The purple vessel erupted in a silent explosion. "First blood to us," Daniel reported, moving to secondary targets. On the bridge of the Retribution, Ethan watched as the battle unfolded. The element of surprise had worked perfectly. 3 alien patrol ships were already disabled or destroyed. "Main fleet, advance to position Beta," Ethan ordered. "Prepare main weapons for synchronized fire on my mark." The Earth warships moved forward in formation. For the first time, the aliens realized they were under attack. Their ships began to turn, weapons charging. "They're scrambling," Patricia reported. "Their communication channels are filled with alerts." Michelle looked up from her station. "Sir, I've made progress with their language. They're calling for reinforcements from their mothership." "Ground forces, prepare for deployment," Ethan said. "Marine Commander Vincent Martinez, you have green light for launch." In the launch bay, Vincent checked his armor one last time. Around him, 200 Marines did the same. They wore the latest battle suits, designed to protect against both conventional weapons and energy attacks. "Our mission is clear," Vincent told his troops. "Find and extract survivors. Neutralize any hostiles that stand in your way. Sergeant Davis will lead the first rescue team." Heather Davis nodded grimly. Her squad was specialized in extraction operations. They had trained for scenarios like this, but never with real aliens as the enemy. "Load up," she ordered her team. "We hit the ground in 5 minutes." The transport ships launched, protected by fighter escorts as they descended toward Eden Prime. Above them, the space battle intensified. The alien ships were technologically advanced, but their tactics were predictable. They had never faced a species that fought back with such coordination and determination. Human ships were more maneuverable, their crews more adaptable. Engineer Linda Ferguson worked frantically in the weapons bay of the HFY Dauntless. During the first exchange of fire, they had learned that their standard weapons weren't as effective as hoped against alien shields. "Adjust the frequency to match their shield resonance," she told her team as they modified the weapons. "We need to hit them at exactly 382 terahertz." When the Dauntless fired again, the results were dramatic. The alien shields flickered and failed. The shot passed through, crippling the enemy vessel. "All ships, adjust weapons to frequency 382 terahertz," came the fleet-wide order. On the surface of Eden Prime, the Marine transports landed in 3 different locations. Sergeant Davis led her team out, weapons ready. The sky above was filled with streaks of light as the space battle continued. "Life signs detected in that bunker," one of her team reported, pointing to a half-collapsed building. They moved quickly through the ruins of what had once been a school. Inside the emergency shelter, they found 37 colonists, including 15 children. They were thin and terrified, but alive. "We're from Earth Fleet," Heather told them. "We're here to take you home." An older woman stepped forward. "There are more of us. The aliens took many to their ships. They're still alive in there." Heather nodded. "We know. That's why we brought an army." Outside, more Marine transports were landing. The counterattack wasn't just a rescue mission anymore. It was the beginning of humanity's retribution. In orbit, Captain Wright watched as a second alien vessel erupted in flames. The battle was far from over, but the first phase had succeeded beyond expectations. "They never expected us to fight back," Patricia said quietly. "That was their first mistake," Ethan replied. "And their last." The initial success of Earth's attack did not last long. The aliens recovered from their surprise quickly and launched a fierce counterattack. Their mothership released hundreds of fighter craft, far more than the human fleet had expected. Evasive maneuvers. Captain Ethan Wright ordered as energy beams sliced through space around the Retribution. The massive ship shuddered as one beam grazed its port side. Across the fleet, human ships faced the full might of the Vexera. The HFY Dauntless took a direct hit to its engine section. Emergency lights flashed on its bridge as systems failed. Dauntless is critically damaged, Patricia reported, her face grim. They've lost propulsion and life support is failing. Ethan made a quick decision. Order them to abandon ship. Have the ESS Guardian move in to cover their escape pods. In space, the human fighters were now outnumbered 3-1. Daniel Peterson's squadron fought desperately, using the debris from destroyed ships as cover. Wolf's squadron, fall back to defensive position, Daniel ordered. We can't win in a straight fight anymore. On the surface of Eden Prime, the Marine teams also faced increasing resistance. The aliens had deployed ground troops to hunt down the human rescue teams. These warriors were tall with 4 arms, each holding a different weapon. Sergeant Heather Davis and her team were pinned down in the ruins of the colony's hospital. They had found 20 more survivors but couldn't get them to the extraction point. Command, we need air support, Heather called over her comm. We're surrounded by at least 30 hostiles. The battle had turned from a successful surprise attack into a desperate struggle for survival. In the communications center of the Retribution, Zachary Newman made an important discovery. Captain, I'm intercepting distress calls from the alien mothership, he reported. They're calling for reinforcements from somewhere beyond this system. Michelle Rodriguez, working alongside him, added, I've translated more of their language. They're saying the test subjects are proving more dangerous than expected. They're calling us test subjects. Sir, this information raced through the fleet. The attack on Eden Prime hadn't been random. It had been a test, an experiment to see how humans would respond. In the science lab, Dr. Amanda Tate worked frantically with her team. They had been studying data from the destroyed alien ships, looking for any weakness they could exploit. Their biology is silicon-based, not carbon like ours, she explained to Captain Wright over the comm. And their ship systems seem to be partially organic, integrated with their own biology. They're vulnerable to certain frequencies of radiation that wouldn't harm humans. This was the breakthrough they needed. Ethan immediately ordered the fleet to implement emergency tactical protocols. All ships, adjust your shield frequencies to 582 MHz. It will create a radiation field that should disrupt their organic technology. Paul Ramirez, the fleet's AI specialist, developed a targeting algorithm that would maximize the effect. Their systems are linked. If we can disrupt the mothership's control network, it might affect all their vessels simultaneously. While the fleet adapted its strategy, a daring mission was underway. Lieutenant Joseph Warren led a small team on a boarding operation targeting a disabled alien vessel. Their job was to retrieve any intelligence they could find about the aliens' plans. Joseph's team cut through the alien hull and entered a strange environment. The corridors seemed partly grown rather than built, with pulsing lights running through translucent walls. Stay together and remember your training, Joseph told his team. We need to find their data center. They moved deeper into the ship, encountering little resistance. Most of the alien crew had abandoned this damaged section. In what appeared to be a control room, they found what they were looking for. Download everything, Joseph ordered. We don't know what's important yet. The data they recovered would prove vital. It contained not just information about the current attack, but plans for future invasions of other human colonies. Eden Prime had been just the beginning, a test case to assess human defenses before a full-scale invasion. As this information reached Captain Wright, he realized the stakes were even higher than they had thought. This wasn't just about saving Eden Prime anymore. It was about protecting all of humanity. All ships, he ordered, prepare for maximum offensive deployment. These aliens came to test us. Let's make sure they fail that test. Dr. Amanda Tate's discovery changed everything. The fleet's weapons were quickly modified to emit the specific radiation frequency that disrupted the aliens' organic technology. The effect was immediate and devastating. Across the battlefield, Vex-Hera ships began to falter. Their weapons misfired. Their shields flickered and failed. Their communications became scrambled. It's working, Patricia reported from her tactical station. The main screen showed alien vessels drifting out of formation, their purple lights dimming. Captain Ethan Wright didn't smile. This wasn't a moment for celebration, but for action. All ships target their command vessels. Fighter squadrons focus on their engines and weapons systems. The Earth fleet pressed its advantage. Human ships moved in perfect coordination, their attacks precisely targeted. What had been a desperate battle minutes before was now turning into a one-sided assault. On the surface of Eden Prime, Sergeant Elizabeth Cole led her Marine team through the ruins of the main settlement. The aliens' ground forces were in disarray, their weapons and communication devices failing. "Area secured," Elizabeth reported as her team reached the central plaza. "We found another group of survivors hiding in the water treatment facility." All across the colony, similar reports came in. Marine teams were finding more survivors and meeting less resistance. The colonists who emerged from hiding told stories of both horror and hope. An older man with burn marks on his face approached Elizabeth. "I was in the defense center when they first attacked. They ignored all our attempts to communicate. They just started killing." A young woman added, "Some of us fought back with whatever we could find." Commander Mason organized resistance groups. She saved many lives before they captured her. Elizabeth asked, "Do you know where they took the captives?" Several survivors pointed to the alien mothership still hovering above the colony. "They're up there. We've seen people being taken inside. No one has come back out." This information was relayed to the fleet. Captain Wright called his senior officers for a quick meeting on the bridge. "We need to disable that mothership without destroying it," he said. "There are human captives on board." Intelligence Officer Andrea Hughes studied the latest sensor readings with concern. "Sir, we're detecting unusual energy signatures at the edge of the system. I believe the alien reinforcements are arriving." This complicated matters. The Earth fleet had gained the upper hand, but they couldn't fight a prolonged battle against fresh enemy forces. "How long do we have?" Ethan asked. 3 hours at most," Andrea replied. Ethan looked at the tactical display. The mothership was their primary target now, both to rescue the captives and to prevent the aliens from escaping with what they had learned about humanity. "We have a narrow window of opportunity," he said. Lieutenant Warren's team recovered data about the mothership's internal layout. "We'll send in boarding teams while the fleet keeps the reinforcements busy." Patricia frowned. "Sir, if we're still engaged when those reinforcements arrive, we might not have a way out." "I'm aware of the risk, Commander." Ethan's voice was steady. "But we didn't come all this way to leave our people behind." The decision was made. Marine transports prepared for the most dangerous mission yet, boarding the alien mothership. Leading the assault would be Captain Wright himself, against the strong objections of his officers. "The fleet needs you here," Patricia argued. "The fleet will follow your orders while I'm gone," Ethan replied. "This mission needs someone who can make command decisions on the spot." As the boarding teams prepared, the alien commander sent an unexpected message. Michelle translated it for Captain Wright. "They're offering to release some captives if we allow them to leave the system," she reported. "They say they've learned what they needed from this test and have no further interest in this colony." Ethan's face hardened. "They want to retreat, study what they've learned about us, and come back with a larger force." He shook his head. "Tell them no. No deals. No mercy." The alien commander had made a critical miscalculation. These humans weren't interested in negotiation. They had come for retribution. The assault on the alien mothership began with precision and fury. 5 human transport ships approached under heavy fighter cover. Tactical Officer Nathan Brooks coordinated the attack from the retribution, ensuring the transports had a clear path to their entry points. All boarding teams in position. Nathan reported to Commander Patricia Alvarez, who now commanded the fleet in Captain Wright's absence. Patricia nodded. "Begin final approach. All covering ships provide maximum suppression fire." The human fleet formed a protective ring around the operation, their weapons targeting the mothership's external defenses. Inside the lead transport, Captain Ethan Wright checked his armor one last time. Around him, 50 Marines did the same. "We have 3 objectives," he told them. "Rescue our people, secure their command center, plant the demolition charges. The 3rd objective ensures this ship never threatens another human colony." The transports latched onto the hull of the massive alien vessel. Marine engineer Rebecca Morgan activated a cutting tool that burned through the purple metal. Within minutes, they had created entry points. "First team, go," Ethan ordered. The Marines moved with practiced efficiency. Each squad had a specific route to follow based on the intelligence gathered from the captured alien ship. Marine sharpshooter Timothy Hughes took point, his specialized weapon ready for any resistance. They encountered the first aliens just inside the entry point. 4 armed warriors fired energy weapons at the boarding party. Timothy dropped 3 of them before they could reach cover. "Their weapons are affected by the radiation too," he reported as the team advanced. "Their shots are going wide." On the bridge of the Retribution, Patricia received alarming news. Enemy reinforcements have accelerated. New ETA is 30 minutes. She made a quick decision. "Signal the fleet to form battle formation Earth's judgment. We'll hold them off as long as we need to." Inside the mothership, Ethan's team fought their way deeper into the alien vessel. The passageways were strange, part metal and part organic material that seemed to pulse with life. They found the first group of human captives in a large chamber filled with examination tables. "Get these people to the transports," Ethan ordered as Marines cut through the restraints holding the colonists. Among the freed captives was Commander Olivia Mason. Despite her weakened condition, she insisted on helping. "I know where they're keeping the others. I've been mapping this ship since they brought me aboard." With Olivia's guidance, they located and freed over 200 more captives. The aliens seemed unprepared for an internal assault. Their warriors fought fiercely, but without coordination. As the rescued colonists were escorted to the transports, Ethan led a smaller team toward the command center. Outside its entrance, he received a communication from Patricia. "Captain, reinforcements are almost here. We need to withdraw soon." "Understood. Begin fleet withdrawal preparations. We'll finish here." The command center doors opened to reveal the alien commander, larger than the others, with 6 arms instead of 4. It spoke in a harsh, clicking language that Ethan's translator rendered into English. "You fight well for test subjects. We underestimated your species." Ethan raised his weapon. "That was your mistake. We are not subjects for your experiments. We are humanity, and we protect our own." The alien commander tried to activate a control panel. Engineer Rebecca Morgan fired first, her shot precise. The alien fell, its purple blood pooling on the floor. "Plant the charges," Ethan ordered. 10-minute timer. As the demolition team worked, Ethan accessed the alien command systems. He transmitted a final message to all Vexhera ships in the system. "This is Captain Ethan Wright of Earth Fleet. You attacked a peaceful colony. You killed innocent people. You took others for your experiments. For these actions, we have passed judgment. There will be no mercy, no negotiation, no retreat. Remember this day. Remember what happens when you target those under humanity's protection." The boarding teams withdrew to their transports as the charges counted down. The rescued colonists were already on their way to the safety of the fleet. From the bridge of the Retribution, Patricia watched as the first alien reinforcements appeared at the edge of the system. At the same time, the mothership began to break apart from within, secondary explosions tearing through its core. The signal went out to all human ships. "Mission complete. Jump to emergency coordinates now." As the Earth fleet disappeared into faster-than-light travel, the alien reinforcements arrived to find only debris where their mighty mothership had been. The message was clear. Humanity would not be tested again. 1 year later, Eden Prime was rebuilding. New colonists joined the survivors. Defense platforms orbited the planet, ready for any threat. At the center of the rebuilt plaza stood a memorial to those lost in the attack. Captain Wright, now Admiral Wright, stood before it during the dedication ceremony. The inscription read simply, "They targeted the helpless. Earth's fleet arrived without mercy. We remember."